Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Givers Gain Networking, one of Jennifer Johnson's 13 plus networking groups. We are so excited to have Lydia Chastain, a marketing director with the Fortune Academy, an amazing school, here with us today. And she is going to chat with us today and tell us about her school, what it does, and how we can help her. And also, if she has anything she wants to add about August testimonials, maybe they recently received a testimonial or they shared one, because this month our theme is testimonials. So thank you so much. Welcome, Lydia. Oh, we can't hear you. Sorry. Hear me?
I've been doing that so much lately, and after this long on Zoom, I should know better. But hi, everyone. Like Nicole said, thank you for the introduction. My name's Lydia. I'm the marketing director with Fortune Academy. If you have not heard of us before, we are located at Fort Benjamin Harrison in Lawrence, Indiana. We are the destination for kids with auditory learning differences. So a lot of our students have ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, differences of those nature that makes it difficult for them to be in a traditional classroom. So our school uses the Orton-Gillingham approach and method in order to teach our students in classroom sizes that have one teacher for every 6 students. So small classroom sizes, minimize distractions, and we do have kids from 1st to 12th grade. So we were started roughly about 20 years ago. A group of mothers from a local private institution here in the area said, our school is great, but it's not teaching my child the way that they need to learn. They just learn differently from other students. They went to try to find a school where their kids could learn and they couldn't. So instead, Janet George, who's now the president, actually, after all these years of the Orton-Gillingham Association, she started our little school called Fortune Academy. And we started on 38th Street in Indianapolis with, I believe, 10 students and a lot of parent volunteers, and I believe 2 to 3 teachers. So one of them being Janet herself. So from mighty little acorns, our school grew into the big mighty oaks that we are now. And we have this year almost 90 students. We're sitting at 89 students, and we have expanded our high school. So after 20 years, we're really thrilled to be part of the Lawrence community and helping and engaging with our students after all this time. So I'm not an individual who likes to speak for 10 minutes straight. So I will just open it up. If anybody has questions so far about the school, I'm willing to answer that. And then if not, I'm wanting to tell some student stories, but kind of want to leave that to the group too, because this is your time to learn about us. So
I have something. So actually I came across, now she's getting her master's in psychology. She's doing social work. She works with specifically kids that have learning disabilities. Is that someone you would like to get connected with, as she is planning to open up her own private practice with kids ranging from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade? That's going to be her kind of niche area. Are those the type of referrals you're looking for when it comes to who you want to connect with?
absolutely. So I, when I started with Fortune, kind of a long-winded answer, but it will make sense in the long run, I promise. So when I started with Fortune, I was tasked to do marketing research, and we found out that it took parents roughly from the start of them noticing that something is wrong with my child until they found Fortune, it roughly was about 5 years. So we've brought that gap down to about 3.5 years at this point in time, just with our efforts in marketing. But we do generally find that students find out about us through referral partners such as psychologists, pediatric nurses, or doctors, their OT, PT, individuals of those natures. So getting into those systems and having referral networks of those natures is really going to help us tear down that timeline. We really would love for families to think of us and not that I'm comparing us to them, but to something of like the Orchard School, or like you live in Indianapolis, you know, the Orchard School is a pristine private school that works with a lot of doctors' offices and partners in the community. And so we would like to do the same thing. So that's a great referral for us. When you're thinking of that kind of thing to bring to Fortune, or individuals to bring to an event, anything, doctors, pediatricians, psychologists, psychologists, and then there's the other one, and I always mess them up, and so I apologize. But anybody of that nature, behavioral analysts are a very good one as well.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, I do. I'm one of those people who have dyslexia, and I got noticed in college when my trying to learn a foreign language, which they said is very difficult with people with dyslexia. Do you also do that in your school, or have some kind of foreign language program?
Yes, we do. So we actually offer American Sign Language. Really proud of our student, Malachi Austin was actually the student of the month for the state of Indiana in American Sign Language courses last year. So that is, every one of our students ends up taking that in some form or matter while they're here at Fortune.
Oh, cool.
So another really cool thing that our school, that a lot of other schools don't do, is we offer internal PT and OT services after school, so that your child does not have to go to a separate building in order to obtain those services, as well as all children throughout the school week, as part of their class, actually go see a school counselor and have success attributes class. And so they work on different attributes in order to make them successful citizens. And it's really like a therapy class for them.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Lydia, does Fortune Academy offer any like sports type activities?
We do. So we offer sports for males and females, co-ed sports. In the fall, we have cross country and volleyball. In the wintertime, we have basketball for high school and middle school, co-ed. And then we also have cheerleading available. Pep squad is what we call it. And then in the spring, we do track and golf. And then we also have a very robust performing arts program. And I think at this point in time, we have about 80% participation in our performing arts program.
That's great.
So it's extremely robust. Our students love it. So yes, we do offer sports. And then we do have some after school programs and clubs as well that vary from things such as Lego class and anime all the way to girls club and sewing. So there's so many different options. We have some students who are really motivated in the community in different aspects and ways. And so they have a club where they get together after school, whether some of them are politically motivated or they're wanting to go help in the community with habitat. We have students that do that as well.
Oh, Christian, thank you.
Yeah, do you have any success stories of young adults who have graduated and gone on to a career, and what type of career did they fit into?
Yeah, so I have a couple. So one is one of the very early students that came. I just interviewed him this past year. When he started with us, he was in 5th grade at a 2nd grade reading level. And he came to Fortune Academy and was struggling very hard. Very, very smart man. He stayed with Fortune all the way through 8th grade. At the time, we did not have a high school. And then he went on to a local private high school here in the Indianapolis area. He went to Colorado State, graduated, and is now an engineer, and is working as an engineer out in Colorado still, and actually came back for our 20-year anniversary and gave a speech as to how Fortune changed his life, because when he left, he was actually above some of his peers that he went to school with and learning. And when he started with us, he was 3 years behind where he should have been.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had another young student who started with us this past year. He graduated. He started with us in 2nd grade. He just graduated and is now going to IU and is going to be a lawyer. He got in with a 50% scholarship to IU. I'm actually wearing one of the hoodies he got me because he's one of my kids. I didn't even realize that until right now, but yeah, so that's Gavin. And then one of our children, Evan, came here in the 6th grade. He was reading at a 3rd grade reading level. He stayed with us from 6th grade to 12th grade. He just graduated in May with a full ride scholarship to the University of Indianapolis based on education merits.
Wow.
Yep.
It's
So
very impressive.
Yes.
Those are things, Lydia, we should probably see if you can get approval to put those like up on our page so we can share those on our personal pages and be able to, because I have a couple of parents that are, I think, looking for a school like that. And it would be great to be able to share those success stories of, hey, we've had students who've gone on to be engineers, lawyers, whatever, that is, or be like, what do you call it? I can't even remember what I'm thinking of, but like they become a part of society and they actually give back and do a lot more than what we would, what normal everyday people would expect. Oh, that's just, but they've come through a lot when they're in your academy. Like you said, they're reading at a third grade level and they're in 6th grade. But yet they've gone on to become engineers. And so it's not, what it's deemed to be by society, but you guys are proving above and beyond that kids like that can go on to be successful.
We want all of our students, and it's part of our mission statement, that students of Fortune Academy will grow to be competent and competent lifelong learners. We don't want we know not all of our students are going to grow up to be the top 10%, be those lawyers and doctors. We know that that might not be their path in life. A lot of our students end up going to trade schools. And I think of one student that I have who he went to woodworking school afterwards. And now he owns Creative Woodworking here in Indianapolis and has a great life and a very successful story. And yes, he didn't go to IU and now is going to be a lawyer, right? But he has the American dream of being a business owner. And if he wouldn't have come to Fortune, he wouldn't have learned how to read. He wouldn't have been successful and would have gotten lost through the cracks at his public school. And so that's why we're here and that's why we're important. And so I just kind of want to preface that because, like I said, not every kid's going to go and be that lawyer. That's one of those great success stories that we do have, but we do have those kids. I think of one child that he came and he now goes to the University of Northwestern Ohio, and he wants to be a diesel mechanic and has the most fulfilling life. And I remember seeing photos of him when I first came and videos of him when I first came, and he could barely speak. He was so anxious. And now he is still anxious, doesn't like speaking in public, has a lot of those same attributes, but is so successful in life. He's a competent learner. He loves reading. He loves learning. He wants to soak it all in and is a great, great, great child for this world.
I love that. I love that. I wanted to ask you a newsletter. Do you all have a newsletter at your school that you share and invite others to receive, like monthly or?
Yes, so we have our internal newsletter that goes out bi-weekly. It just keeps you up to date on everything that's happening at Fortune. It is geared more towards parents, but I think that there's a lot of really great information in there for the community. You can skip through like, oh, if we're having our uniform swap, that's not going to be for you. However, you can see when we're having our fall festival or performance arts are going on. If you ever want to come attend a show, there's all kinds of really just great information. You see all of our marketing stuff that's going on in events and the ways that we're advertising in the community too.
I love that. I love that. So what we do with our TTR members is we post events and things. So, something for you to look forward to when you join. I'd be more than happy to help with that on the social media and, and even like if there's in like a newsletter or something, we can like put part of it and then like link it to your website, get to see the website, if you want. So just one of the many perks that TTR networking offers. So yeah, the value of newsletters is amazing.
Yes, I agree.
Lydia, I wanted to ask you, are there scholarships available for people who can't afford full price tuition?
Yes. So right now, about 20% of our students are on scholarship. And So you are able to donate through the Sagamore Fund. That is linked through our website. It is a state of Indiana program. The Sagamore Institute works with them. And actually, you're able to receive a 50% tax credit, business or personal wise, through donating to our scholarship. So really easy to break down this way. So if you donate $10,000, you would receive $5,000 back on tax credits. Obviously not everyone's going to do it, but that's just the easy numbers that seems to stick with people. But yeah, so that is Scholarship Choice for Education, or Education Choice for Scholarship Fund. Sorry. Yep. And then we're also part of the ESSA program through the state of Indiana. We are a pilot school through that. And that is a program through the state that allows parents to receive tuition and funding to help with special education needs, whether it's after school tutoring, special education for a private institute or school, or PTOT services. And so we are a pilot program for that as well, since we offer all three of those to the public as well.
Wonderful.
All righty. So did anybody else have any other questions, or Christian has one?
Yeah, do you ever have guest speakers from the business industry for your senior classes come in?
We do. And so what we like to do is have individuals come in. And since we have a smaller high school, we have about 40 kids in our high school. We generally have guest speakers come in and speak to the whole high school, either on Mondays or Fridays during their family meeting times, which is when the whole school gathers together and they have updates, kind of like how we would do pep rallies in a larger school quarterly. They do it weekly.
Very nice. Any other questions? Lydia's just got a bunch of stuff that we want to talk to her about. That's a good opportunity to do a one-on-one with her. She is fun to talk to when it's not in a necessarily business environment. She and I had a one-on-one, very fun, get to know her on a personal level. You can really feel, like I say, Zoom is not the best way to see how people are, but when you sit in front of her, you can just see the passion that pours out of her for what she does, which is awesome. I think it's incredible. And like I did, it made my brain start going to be like, oh, you need to meet Jim and you need to meet her. And now I'm, like proactively going out there and just hearing people talk about, oh, what about this? Or I'm looking for this, or connecting. I instantly think of Lydia. So it's kind of cool that I'm going to be able to work with her in the future, hopefully, and send her a lot more things. So, but
Hey,
yeah.
Jasmine, could we introduce Catherine? She just joined.
Yeah.
And then Lydia, if you could just, I hate to ask again, just share again your, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead
My
and
elevator pitch.
Yeah, your elevator pitch. Should we keep recording, Jasmine, or do you think it's a good place to stop?
This is a good place to stop.
Okay, we want to thank Lydia again, and thank you
guys.
so much. Your school is amazing. Everything y'all do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.